Welcome to Dive, where we take your sources, whatever form they come in, and really unpack what's inside.
Yeah, hello.
So today, a bit unconventional.
A little different, yeah.
Our sources aren't the usual articles or research papers. Instead, we've got a stack of everyday conversations.
Just snippets, right? Little moments pulled from life.
Exactly. Think family dinners, quick chats, stuff like that.
And our mission, really, is to find the hidden architecture in these, seemingly simple exchanges. It's easy to just dismiss daily talk as trivial, but if you actually listen closely, wow, it reveals so much.
About human behavior, our challenges, how we navigate the world.
Totally.
Okay, so let's unpack this collection. We're going to pull out themes. We're talking family dynamics, daily annoyances,
Unexpected events, even just learning new things.
It's really a deep dive into the texture of, American life, I guess.
Yep.
One conversation at a time.
And we'll look at specific examples from these sources you sent and see what they can teach us.
Yeah.
About communication styles, handling conflict.
Expressing emotion, adapting, all that good stuff. Let's jump right in with family dynamics and parenting. Because, wow, these conversations are rich with it.
Oh, yeah. Where do we even start?
Well, how about the moment someone brings home 5 slices of cake when there are only 3 people?
Right. On the surface, okay, it's about dessert. Too much dessert.
But what's really interesting there, like you pointed out, isn't just the amount, it's how fast the conversation pivots.
Exactly. From, 5 slices to, instantly, I guess we're having cake for dinner.
Yeah.
It shows this fascinating psychological thing. Reframing an unexpected situation. Not seeing it as a problem.
But as, a novelty, finding joy in breaking the routine.
Precisely. A novel opportunity.
Okay, or the classic parenting struggle. Teeth brushing.
Oh, yes. Poor Brian.
Right. Face swollen, needs a cavity filled. It's such a vivid example of that universal battle, isn't it? Immediate comfort versus long-term well-being.
And the parent having to enforce that, often really unpopular discipline.
Yeah.
And the kid's logic, I always wake up late, so I don't have time. It's not just an excuse, is it?
What do you mean?
Well, it kind of highlights a common cognitive bias. The immediate problem being late feels way more important than some abstract future thing like a cavity.
Right. Until it's not abstract anymore.
Exactly. So the parent taking him straight to the dentist isn't just about treatment. It's reinforcing the tangible result of skipping that simple routine.
Makes sense. Then we see teamwork, or maybe the negotiation of teamwork in the kitchen.
Tom helping with the meat pie.
Sarah being told to wash her hands.
Standard stuff.
Which then leads right into that core household conflict, the chore chart. Adam and his sibling arguing about the dishes.
Oh, the chore chart.
Yeah.
Classic. This isn't just about who does the dishes, is it?
No, it feels bigger.
It's like a micro example of the social contract within the family. The feeling of unfairness, I did them, versus the reality.
That they weren't actually clean. Yeah, it gets at accountability. What does done even mean?
Right. And the resolution they came up with, switching chores weekly, double-checking the chart, it's a really practical lesson.
Yeah.
Building transparency, adaptability.
Making sure things actually get done. Verifying.
Accountability.
And how about that resistance to family time? Calling the park boring because video games are waiting.
Oh, yeah. The eternal struggle.
Yeah.
Parent pushing for fresh air, kids wanting screens.
Totally.
It really taps into this fundamental conflict in modern parenting, doesn't it? Balancing the, structured digital stuff with less structured physical activity, shared experience.
And the dad's offer, manage not to fight for 2 hours, get all the ice cream you want.
Classic move. Using external incentives. Positive reinforcement 101.
Trying to turn a power struggle into a negotiation, basically.
Pretty much. Sometimes you got to bribe them.
Let's not forget the warmth, though, like the grandparent visits.
Yeah. The chocolate chip cookies offered right away.
And sharing new hobbies like painting or knitting.
Those moments really underscore that that unique psychological comfort zone grandparents often create. It's just unconditional welcome, simple pleasures.
Yeah.
And sharing a hobby. It isn't just showing off, it's inviting connection, isn't it? Revealing a bit of yourself across the generations.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Daily routines and annoyances. These give us a glimpse into the small frictions of life.
The little things that grind your gears.
Chores pop up again. That familiar line, it's not fair, I always have to do the dishes.
Which ties right back to Adam and his sibling, doesn't it? That perception of effort.
Yeah, who's pulling their weight?
It's a recurring theme, I think, in any kind of collaboration, family or work. Feeling like your effort isn't seen or it's more than someone else's.
True. Then there are the minor hiccups, needing a haircut, a beard trim, and getting really specific instructions.
Or just the sheer frustration of your car breaking down.
Ugh, been there.
These are like everyday tests of resilience, aren't they? Adaptability.
Definitely. Being late because the car won't start forces you into immediate problem-solving mode.
Right. Call a taxi, call work. It just highlights how much we depend on everything running smoothly.
And who hasn't dealt with a restaurant so loud you can barely hear yourself think, let alone talk?
Yeah. That simple interaction shows how we're constantly adjusting how we communicate based on the environment.
You have to shout or just give up or find somewhere else.
Exactly. It's a subtle kind of environmental negotiation we do all the time.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting, I think. The impact of unexpected events and strong emotions.
Yeah, the big moments.
Like the sheer joy of good news, getting that job offer in New York.
Whoa, that's a life-altering piece of news just dropped into conversation. And it triggers this immediate cascade, right? Excitement, but also
apprehension. It's a big move.
Yeah, it perfectly captures how we process major life changes in real time, mixing the positive potential with all the practical worries.
And lottery wins. We had 2 examples. One person wins $500, immediately plans a beach trip.
Practical application of winnings.
Another wins $5,000 and is just in 7th heaven. Life is perfect.
What's fascinating there is how subjective fortune feels. $500 buys concrete happiness a trip.
Right.
$5,000, which is bigger, but still, not life-changing millions, triggers this disbelief, this almost hyperbolic sense of absolute well-being.
Yeah, life is perfect now.
It shows our emotional response isn't always linear with the amount. It's about what that money represents to us right then.
Okay, then the flip side. The classic awkward encounter, meeting an ex at the supermarket.
Oof, I couldn't even look at him. That one line just says so much.
It really does.
It demonstrates how powerful an involuntary memory and emotion can be. The past, especially if it's unresolved or charged, just crashes into the present.
Even when you're just trying to buy milk.
Right. Triggers a physical reaction before you even think.
And those really spine-chilling memories people shared, getting lost, camping, feeling watched.
Yeah, that was intense. Or the car breaking down in a thunderstorm, seeing a shadowy figure.
Gives me the creeps just thinking about it.
These anecdotes really highlight the lasting psychological impact of perceived threats, even if they're unexplained.
That feeling of vulnerability, the unknown.
It leaves deep imprints, shapes how you assess risk later, how you see the world around you maybe, shows how brief moments of fear can stick with you.
There was also that moment of just raw envy, hearing about Kyle's new job at PG Entertainment.
Ah, yes. Green with envy, so blunt.
It really reveals that common human thing, social comparison. We can't help it sometimes.
Hearing about someone else's success, especially if it feels undeserved, like he didn't have a lot of experience.
Right, and that can trigger feelings of inadequacy or injustice or regret about your own choices. I wish I had also applied.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even good news for one person can spark some complex, maybe negative feelings in another.
Definitely.
Okay, moving on to personal preferences and learning. The conversation about school subjects was great. Oh, I like that one too.
One person loves science experiments, nature, the mystery.
The empirical stuff.
Yeah.
Investigation.
The other prefers history dates, events, stories, ancient adventures.
The narrative structure. The human context.
And it beautifully illustrates these different cognitive styles, right? Different ways of being interested in the world.
Totally. And the best part was the recognition that both are valid, agreeing to pay more attention in the other's class.
Yeah, that mutual respect for different ways of thinking. That was cool. Then the mall adventure, another lens into preferences and maybe chaos.
Yeah. Getting lost, the impulse buys.
A hat instead of shoes, a video game instead of groceries.
And the absolute classic, the singing fish for my bathroom.
I mean, who buys that?
These examples are just fascinating insights into decision-making in these really complex environments. Malls are designed to disrupt your plans, aren't they?
Sensory overload.
Leads to impulse buys. The singing fish.
Yeah.
It's so novel or funny, it just bypasses rational thought entirely.
And comparing that to online shopping really highlights the difference, doesn't it? Online is efficient, goal-oriented. The mall is browsing, distraction, maybe serendipity.
Or just buying singing fish.
Yeah. And how we spend our free time. Board games versus video games came up.
Right. using Monopoly to teach about money,
Scrabble for words.
and then discovering Catan together.
Which reveals different motivations for playing, right? Education, skill building with Monopoly and Scrabble.
Versus shared exploration and strategy with something like Catan.
And the fact that Catan could bridge that potential gap between, say, different generations' gaming tastes.
Yeah. It highlights how shared interests can create common ground, connection.
Definitely. Okay, Health and Transactions also featured John's dentist visit.
The toothache and the fear of the dentist.
So common. The conversation really normalized that widespread anxiety.
And it showed how clear communication from the professional Dr. Smith saying, I'll numb the area, you won't feel a thing, how much that can help manage the fear.
And the outcome? That wasn't so bad after all. A little victory over dread.
Exactly. And the doctor's advice afterwards, take the pills for 7 days, avoid alcohol, rest, no spicy food. It's not just instructions.
No, it's reinforcing that recovery takes active effort, right? Compliance, lifestyle adjustments.
You got it. Preventing relapse requires you to do things.
Then simpler transactions popped up, transferring $1,500 cash to Anna Williams.
Sounds basic, but it's a crucial social ritual, isn't it? Involves trust, verification.
Filling out forms, confirming details.
It emphasizes how important accuracy is in these transactional talks. Get it wrong, and there's a problem.
And finding housing. The search for that 2-bedroom apartment for $649 a month, plus deposit.
Just reflects the practical reality of getting a basic necessity. The conversation zeroes in on the key things. Cost, size, fees.
The basic info exchange needed for a fundamental life transaction, renting a place to live. And finally, these conversations just show us constantly navigating physical spaces, especially when things go wrong.
Like the noisy restaurant leading to a hunt for a coffee shop.
Or that sudden rain shower. Plans change from walking outside to finding somewhere inside the same building.
Yeah. Those moments really highlight our continuous adaptation. Real-time problem solving, being flexible when the environment or circumstances change.
So all these examples, from tiny inconveniences to big life events, they just show this incredible amount of problem solving, emotional processing, relationship navigation.
All packed into what we might just dismiss as talking.
Yeah.
So we've taken a pretty deep dive today, pulled insights from the most common source material you can imagine, just everyday chats.
From cavities and chore charts
to scary memories and lottery wins.
These short exchanges really reveal these fundamental patterns of human behavior, how we communicate, how resilient we are.
And if you connect this to the bigger picture, it really shows that most of our social learning, our emotional processing, our practical navigation of the world, it doesn't happen in big speeches.
No.
It happens in the seemingly mundane back and forth of daily life.
So what does this all mean for you listening?
Well, perhaps it's an invitation to just listen differently. To recognize that the casual chat isn't just background noise. It's actually dense with information about how we think, how we feel, how we interact.
So consider this as you go about your day. What profound or maybe just unexpected insights might you discover by simply paying closer attention to the next conversation you overhear or the next one you have?
The depth might really surprise you.